If you are looking for a new gaming laptop, then this video is going to be for you. I'm going to show you 5 different gaming laptops for 5 different budgets, so it doesn't matter if you're working with a really tight budget or you're looking for a really high-end laptop for gaming, your budget will be covered. And I will also tell you what you can expect out of these laptops when it comes to gaming performance. You will have the links to all of these laptops down below in the video description, also with bonus ones for cheaper prices and more expensive ones, because as I said before, I want to cover every single budget and also every resolution. With that being said, let's start. With the first laptop, we have the cheapest one on the list, and this one is the Omen 16, $850, and it comes with the Ryzen 5 7640HS with the RTX 4050. You also get 16 gigs of DDR5 memory and 500 gigs of SSD. The RTX 4050 for laptops is similar to the GTX 1660 Ti for desktops. So really solid performance at 1080p, and you will be able to play most titles at 1080p 60 plus FPS on average, depending on the settings. But if you want to get a nice starting laptop for gaming, this laptop is going to be amazing because of the price. You also get a 144Hz 1080p display, so if you want to play esports titles, you will have a 144 plus FPS on average experience, so you will be taking advantage of this display. Also, on the HP website, you can upgrade some stuff. If you are going to upgrade something, I recommend you upgrading the storage to 1TB or 2TB, depending on how much you need. But honestly, that depends on the type of games that you play. I think 1TB is going to be the sweet spot. And then if you have more money for upgrades, you can go with 32 gigs of RAM instead of 16 gigs. With the next one, we have the Acer Nitro 5 going for $1,117 with the Ryzen 7 6800H alongside the RTX 3070 Ti laptop GPU. Here you get a 165Hz 1440p display, and you get 32 gigs of DDR5 memory and 1TB of Gen 4 SSD, so no need for any upgrades here, but it is going to be more expensive than the last one. The 3070 Ti for laptops, it's about 40 to 50% faster than the RTX 4050 I've mentioned before. So of course this is more of a 1440p GPU, and that's why you get a 1440p display. You will be taking advantage of those 165Hz for esports titles, but you will be also getting a better image quality. Really solid for gaming at 1440p overall, and once again you will be able to average 60 plus FPS on average in most titles depending on the settings. With the next one, we have a more expensive system in the Lenovo Legion Pro 5. This one is quite more expensive at $1,800 when you apply the $170 coupon from Amazon, and in terms of gaming performance, it's going to be actually about the same as the last one, and it's much more expensive, but you get 64 gigs of DDR5 memory instead of 32, and you get the i7 13700HX. You also get a beautiful looking display. The only reason why I would recommend you upgrading to this one is if you are a creator. If you want to do creator work and also play at 1440p resolution, 60 plus FPS on average in most titles, once again depending on the settings, then this one makes much more sense than the last one. But for most people, the last one is going to be actually a better choice in terms of value, and on this one you're just spending too much and it's not going to make a huge difference for gaming. But if you're a creator and you want a solid laptop under $2,000, I think this one is an amazing choice. With the next one, we have the Omen 17, and I think this one is the best one for most gamers since you get the i9 13900HX, so great for creators as well, but you get the RTX 4080, which is going to be amazing for 1440p. You get a 1440p 165Hz display, but if you want to play esports titles, you can upgrade to a 240Hz display just for $20 extra, which I highly recommend. This one is expensive at $2,600 if you want the base model, but if you make the upgrades I'm going to mention you right now, the total price will be $2,870, but trust me, these are good upgrades that will make your overall experience better. The first one being the RAM. I do recommend you going with 32 gigs of RAM instead of 16 gigs, especially at this price point. This upgrade is mostly, once again, for content creation and productivity work. If you just do gaming, you will not notice a huge difference, and you can go with 16 gigs and save up $170. Then the display, just for $20, you are getting a 240Hz 1440p display, which is going to be much better than the 165Hz one. And then I do recommend you upgrading to at least 1TB of SSD. As I said before, this is the sweet spot for gaming, but if you need more storage, then you can consider 2TB. As I said before, if you make these upgrades, it's going to be $2,870. And on the top of the website, you can play with the settings in the real FPS performance in your build, and you can choose the graphics preset, for example 1440p Ultra, and you get the average FPS at GTA 5, CSGO, Dota 2, and you can also add more games. And then if you want the best laptop, it's actually the same one, but you go to the processor and graphics and choose the RTX 4090 laptop instead of the 4080. That's going to give you a huge gaming performance increase, especially at 1440p resolution. With the 4090, the total price will be $3,420 with the other upgrades I've mentioned, of course, but the performance difference is there. So if you want the best of the best for a laptop when it comes to gaming, I think this one is the best one in terms of price to performance on the high-end level. Another laptop to consider at this price point is the ASUS ROG Strix Scar 18. This one is $3,800, so it's more expensive, and you get a really similar i9 processor, the same 32 gigs of RAM, but then you get the RTX 4090, a 240Hz 1440p monitor, and 2TB of SSD. The main difference is that you get more SSD here, but you can also upgrade it on the HP website. And if you decide to make the upgrade on the HP website, it's going to be cheaper than the ASUS laptop. So in terms of performance, I think the Omen laptop is better. However, you may like the aesthetics of the ASUS one, but if you want the best of the best and you ask me, I believe the Omen 17 is a much better choice for the price, which I will be reviewing soon, by the way, so stay tuned. Anyway, as I said at the beginning, if you have more money than $3,800 or maybe you have a lower budget than $850, or you just want a budget in between, you will have those bonus alternatives in the description. And you will also have a link for my personal PC help in case you need help with your specific situation and you need a new gaming laptop or maybe a new gaming desktop. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.